Huge WWE spoilers for plans for Rowdy Ronda Rousey after her big Royal Rumble victory last night. We know who she might be facing, and it might surprise you. Before we get started, though, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer, Ronda Rousey is currently scheduled to be in a key WrestleMania 38 matchup against Charlotte Flair. Not Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. We saw what is probably was, I should say, a prelude to what is likely going to be their WrestleMania match at the Rumble. Charlotte, of course, entered the Rumble, being the first woman who was the champion at the time to enter the Rumble. She entered the Rumble, and it was down to her and Ronda Rousey in the final two. Rousey was able to eliminate Charlotte, and at the end, there was a little bit of a stare down between these two, and you could tell that WWE might want to go back to it, and it looks like they're going back to it immediately, and it seems like Rousey and Flair is the match. Now, I know what a lot of people are wondering. Wait. Why is it Rousey Flair? Why isn't it Rousey Lynch? And I think it's due to a few different factors. I think the biggest one is that they being Fox, WWE, want to make Rowdy Ronda Rousey the one of the main attractions for Friday Night SmackDown. We know that Fox really wanted Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar to both be regulars on their show, and that's what we're getting. So Ronda Rousey is likely going to be more prominent on SmackDown, and if that's the case, we're likely going to get her and Charlotte. We might get a little bit of a tease between her and Becky on Raw tomorrow night, but I don't think that's going to be the final play. It would make sense that Fox would want her. The other thing that really affects this, and it actually has to do with Becky Lynch, is the fact that right now, the dynamic that would exist between Becky and Ronda going into a WrestleMania 38 match, it wouldn't work. Because right now you have big-time Bex. You don't have the man. You have big-time Bex who's a heel, who shows off, who's very different from the Becky Lynch that people wanted to face Ronda Rousey going into WrestleMania 35. So it's a very different situation. Ronda's obviously changed. Ronda's teasing a little bit of a heel run in her. If you look at her post-match promo on WWE.com, she's teasing a little bit of a heel turn, and she's not really, I think, going to take kindly to anything the fans have to say. She says she's learned from her mistake, so we'll see. But it doesn't seem like that dynamic between Lynch and Rousey would work. So I get why they would maybe want to push this off until Becky Lynch maybe turns face, and we would get the face Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey match that we've always wanted. Because, again, that was one of the big reasons why Becky Lynch became the man. It was because she was one of the few people who was willing to step up to Ronda Rousey and be fearless and actually attack her and do what it takes to win. So, and there's a lot that's going to be addressed, obviously, there. They've already teased the fact that, Ronda Rousey didn't really get pinned. Her shoulders were up. So that's definitely going to be something that they're going to go back to. Exciting stuff. As far as Charlotte versus Rousey goes, I get why WWE wants to do it. Obviously it makes sense. Charlotte's a SmackDown Women's Champion. They want her on SmackDown. I get that. But it does seem like almost every time WWE tries to do something big with the women's division, they almost have to just input Charlotte into it. And I'm not saying Charlotte doesn't deserve it. She does deserve a lot. But sometimes I don't think it mixes well with the story that they're trying to tell. To be determined, right? A little more news on Ronda Rousey before we wrap up. Rousey's second stint with WWE will apparently extend beyond WrestleMania, and it is likely going to be a substantial run that could include a WrestleMania match even next year. So we might get to see Ronda Rousey stick around. She's probably going to be around for SummerSlam as well. And, SummerSlam could be a time where they end up doing that Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. Rowdy Ronda Rousey, baddest woman on the planet versus the man, Becky Lynch. But we're going to have to see what happens there. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, I'm Omar from Real Take Sports. Keep it real.